Hey guys, so here I am doing your first read aloud. We've got Ungifted by Korman. And if you guys will recall where we left off, and I can't believe I didn't get to read this to you live. I'm pretty bummed about it. The two Daniels had Tin Man and they were dancing with him in the dance floor. And so our hero here is about to realize he really does care what happens to Tin Man. That's when it hit me. I did care. Not so much about the robotics team, and definitely not about some bucket of bolts on machinum wheels. How many chances did I get to limit the damage of my impulses? Once Atlas's globe is rolling, there's nothing anyone can do to save the gym at the bottom of the hill. But this was different. Tin Man wasn't wrecked yet. There was still time to make things right. I pushed back into the gym, jamming my way through dancing torsos. I could see that my trajectory was taking me on a collision course with Oz, and yikes, Dr. Schultz. The adults had spotted Tin Man and were rushing to the robot. I grabbed a baseball cap off the nearest head and jammed it low over my face. Why make it easy for the guy to bust me? Some of my classmates had noticed too. Kevin, JC, and Latrell were stuck at various places in the crowd, struggling to reach Tin Man. Abigail was red-faced and screaming, although her cries were inaudible in the general din. Chloe got behind me, riding my wake toward the scene of the crime. We were making progress, but would we get there in time? At the center of it all, Sanderson was draped over Tin Man's back, rolling the robot to and fro as if slow dancing with it. Nussbaum had hold of the two forklift arms and was jitterbugging to his own rhythms. I tackled him to the gym floor, and when he went down, he took one of the arms with him. Triumphantly, he held it over his head, and an enormous cheer rose in the gym. To my classmates, it meant only one thing. Tin Man was being dismantled. Kevin and Latrell faced down Sanderson. "Get away from Tin Man!" Kevin bawled. Problem was, those guys had never been in a fight in their lives, so their body language was completely unfight-like. Latrell couldn't even make a fist properly. He had his thumb pressed inside his fingers. Sanderson took one look at that and laughed in their faces. He stopped laughing, though, when Abigail booted him in the shins. "Get out of my school, you!" She struggled for just the right put down. "You, average person!" That's when it got ugly. A shoving match broke out. After a few seconds, it was no longer just the Daniels versus the robotics team. The conflict had widened, and it was now Hardcastle versus the Academy. All the resentment, the jealousy, and the bullying attitude toward the gifted program boiled over at that very spot, turning the dance into a free-for-all, with Tin Man caught in the crossfire. The blood-curdling shriek was barely human. We all looked up to see Noah Euclid poised atop the DJ's giant speaker tower, muscles flexed. At least they would have been if he'd had any. The bizarre pose left no room for interpretation. It was a ridiculous time to notice it, but I finally understood what his outfit was supposed to be. He was a WWE wrestler, just like the ones he'd seen on YouTube, only 50 times skinnier. And before everybody's horrified eyes, he did exactly what they do on SmackDown. He launched himself off the tower in a spectacular dive into the fray. I figured he was dead meat, but his fall was broken by the people he landed on. The crowd swayed, absorbing his impact. Many figures went down. Tin Man was one of them. Oz looked like he wanted to tear himself in half. I'm pretty sure he couldn't decide whether he should rush to the aid of his fallen student or his fallen robot. And then, for the first time all night, something intelligent happened. The fire alarm went off. At first, I was kind of surprised it wasn't me who did it. It was very much my style. But when I looked over at the wall, the culprit was standing there, still holding onto the lever. Dr. Schultz. I guess when you're the superintendent, you don't have to worry about getting in trouble. In the blink of an eye, several hundred kids swarmed the gym door. Hey, I knew an exit strategy when I saw one. I was gone before Schultz could even glance in my direction. That's the end of the chapter. I'll record the next chapter either later today, if you guys want me to do it live with you via Zoom, or I'll just keep recording and posting. Either way, I'll probably record for you. All right, have a good day, you guys.